Cardio, what's up? Welcome back to the show. I've been waiting a long time for this one. 24 hours of LeMans, one of the coolest races of all time, right? Super legendary. And boy, oh boy, did I never think I would see this. Of course, most of you watching probably know, yes, NASCAR was at Le Mans. How weird is that? You know what? But I love it. As someone who has grown up loving NASCAR my whole life, and then, of course, being interested in other motorsports and really pursuing that on this channel, I freaking love it. I think it's crazy. I think it's goofy. But you know what? Things like this need to be done sometimes. I think it's really eye-opening, and I think everyone has a good time trying to see some different sides to things and some different sort of mashups like this. Basically, long story short, it was in the Garage 56 class, so it was basically in its own experimental class. But you got to admit, the thing put down some amazing lap times, and I know there's some NASCAR haters out there, and there probably still will be, and that's fine. But most people admit this thing did pretty good and exceeded expectations. I will say it's weird seeing a NASCAR stock car with lights, even though most cars have lights, right? Remember, they're usually stickers, so it's pretty cool to see it with functional lights. And, it's got a little bit of improved aero, different braking package, of course, and even the transmission was totally different, like with the actual paddles, not the, traditional gated stick shift manual transmission that I love that they usually have. So it's still a NASCAR, definitely, but it's a little bit modified. Anywho, whether you think it did great or you think it sucked, either way, you got to admit there's one thing it did win, even if it didn't win the race. It won in sound. I mean, this thing sounded insane. I wish I could have heard it in person. I have heard NASCAR stock cars in person, and they're incredible. They literally shake your body when they drive by. And this thing was roaring, and I've seen reports of people saying that this was clearly the loudest car there, best sounding car there, and you could hear it coming from like a mile away. That's what we're going to look at today. This is from Pescara Productions. It'll be linked in the description down below so you can watch this whole thing uninterrupted. We're only going to browse through a couple clips, and of course, check out their channel. And this was suggested by a couple people on Discord. I have the most recent one from Guy on Discord. So thank you. Let's take a look. Turn that volume up. Oh, that sound. That sound is so good. It does look pretty menacing out there, too. I mean, Remember, I may not be a big... huge NASCAR fan now like I used to be. I think the sport is taking some good strides. Like they're trying to do more road courses and street courses, so I do like that. But of course, some other reasons, I think it's also gone downhill in other ways. Either way, it's an ever-evolving sport, and I do like them. Like, I still like the cars, right? I mean, they're freaking awesome. It sounds so sinister. They always have that sound. You can always pick a NASCAR stock car sound out. Look at that thing. Damn. Wow. I could say, too, for anyone that got to hear this for the first time, if they attended this race, I'm sure it was exciting, but it's also different because this is just one car, right, in a field of many other cars that are also loud in different ways, right? I will say hearing this solo would still be a different experience. You know, what I've heard, at an actual NASCAR race, when you hear 40 of these things drive by at once at full throttle at like 180 miles per hour, now that is craziness. Nothing like it really in the world. To hear something that loud and ferocious, like I said, they come by and it's just like carnage. It's nuts. So this is pretty cool. I'm really glad they made it there. I think it was a cool experiment. I think everyone had a great time. mean, that's the holy grail of racing, right? Is this race. And this wonderful track. Tons of history. It's just cool. I never thought I'd see it. Look at it hauling ass. I mean, they're not slow, guys. They can take turns, too. For what they are, they're pretty incredible. Wow. Oh, I love that. I love that in racing when you see the glowing brake rotors at night, you know. You can see them at night much easier. God, that sound. That sound, that's familiar. I usually don't hear familiar sounds on these videos where I look at awesome exhaust notes of cars across the world, right? My favorite series on this channel. That one's so familiar because I've heard it in real life, and it's just cool. It's cool seeing it on here, but not in a setting I'm used to, you know? We're not at a small oval track or a local racetrack. We're at the big time stage here. Just gonna run down that Porsche. See ya. That is crazy. That is just crazy. Oh my God. Of course, you know, it's in an unrestricted class as well. This was running more horsepower than it even runs in NASCAR. And then, of course, running much more than the GT cars and such, right? So, damn. What a machine, though. Tons of awesome cars. Not just the NASCAR entry, keep in mind. Even though I'm excited about it, because it's such a cool concept that it was there. And keep in mind, it was still true to NASCAR. It might have had lights, which NASCAR typically doesn't have, but it did have no door, so you had to do the old climb through the window. That's pretty crazy. Whereas, you know, what's cool is a lot of the LeMans cars have, of course, functioning doors and stuff. By the way, you know me, I do pronounce things wrong, so I know LeMans isn't pronounced like that. That's just like a sloppy English way of pronouncing it, more so sloppy American English way of pronouncing it. I'm well aware, so I do apologize. I know I also can't speak French, so I don't want to butcher it and sound like I'm trying too hard. Just throwing that out there, guys. Yeah, LeMans. That's like a horrible attempt at it, right? Typical cars featured there are awesome as well. Oh, look at this angle. Here we go. Dude, that thing roars. That thing freaking roars. Like, that shook my headset a little bit. Oh, I love it. I love it. Damn, that looks fun. That's a bucket list, man. I gotta go someday. It just looks like an amazing time. Beautiful place. Legendary track. I played it in video games, and let me tell you, it's been years, but I've played it in some video games at some point. And I remember even in a video game, this track is challenging. It's got these long sweeping turns. There's almost the whole thing is super high speed, and you can misjudge these big time. I remember even in a video game, which is nowhere near as hard as real life, I understand, I have totally slid off this, like into the sand. This is a tough track. One last clip. Yeah. Cool. Everything. Those sound cool too. I mean, the LMP cars sound cool in their own way. They're a little more muted, but they sound powerful and they sound futuristic. The pit times, or the pit stops were pretty good, I understand, on these as well, for being, you know, a lot different than some other series. So, yeah, this is going to be a great video for comments, because I would just love to hear what you guys thought. Did you catch the race? Did you catch highlights? What did you think about the whole race overall? And, obviously, to deal with this video, what did you think of the NASCAR? You could be honest. Were you excited? Did it beat your expectations? Was it kind of cool to see something different like this in there alongside, the legendary race cars and race drivers that are usually there? Or was it too weird for you? Did you not like seeing it there? Let's hear about it. I would love to hear your thoughts on it. Please throw a thumbs up on the video if you did enjoy it, though, and you love that sound, because if you're a gearhead, I don't care where you're from, I think you're going to enjoy that sound. How could you not? It sounds freaking awesome. Subscribe to be part of this amazing community we do have here. Keep up your awesome suggestions like this. And my name is Ian. You're watching IWrocker. And until next time, y'all, I'll catch you later.